Here we go again. So I'm subscribed to a guy named Manager Marty, and I see he has a video with the guy with the platform called the Boxing Outlet, and I wasn't going to say their names to give them any credibility, but dude, these dudes are talking about Terence Crawford's gloves. And you saw Derek James, shout out to Kurt from Counterpunch Boxing News. He was showing how a while back Derek James, after the Crawford-Spence fight, was squeezing Crawford's gloves, checking them to make sure there was no funny business going on. But here we go again. Manager Marty and his homie, the Boxing Outlet, talking about Terence Crawford's gloves, how they split it open, something about the horsehair. So here we go again. You mean to tell me all the commissions were in on it? Oh, and then Manager Marty's talking about Terence Crawford being attached to the snack program with Vince DeConti, I think is his name. And you know his story. If you don't, go check him out. You know, he's tied to some athletes in the Olympics and steroids, but he's changed his tune. He's working with several organizations to make sure sports is clean. And Manager Marty's basing this whole thing off of his past. How can you do that? We still look at, as long as he's turned a new leaf, you know, then what's the problem? It's not like he's still doing that stuff, you know. But people are looking for any excuse to why Terence Crawford beat their boy Errol Spence, and Marty's talking about, well, look at his ties to Vince, and you know, he's alleging steroids and how muscular the Terence Crawford is. And I saw one guy on there, he's like, well, yeah, most athletes take supplements. What's wrong with that? And he's acting like, well, this guy that he's with in the snack program is attached to steroids. But anyway, Vince has changed his tune, so what's the problem? We look at Mike Tyson as a great fighter. We don't say because he bit Evander Holyfield's ear that he wasn't a great fighter. He's changed his tune. So Vince was in some, is it Vince or Vic? I forget. But say he was into something shady. He's not now. And for you to try to blame everything on Terence Crawford, you could tell they're going on a scavenger hunt trying to look for things to try to come up with. I even heard the dude of the Boxing Outlet talking about Terence Crawford being in a secret society. Now, any of us that study these things, we know secret societies exist. I mean, it's right in front of you. It's obvious. Things are right in your face. We know that. But what are you basing this off of? A victory? Because a guy that you thought would win didn't win. Now all of a sudden Terence Crawford is in a secret society? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Terence Crawford is the one that was given his victory. He was the one giving his statement about Christ. I didn't hear Errol Spence do that. If he did, I didn't hear it at the press conference or after the fight. So if anybody's in the secret society, how in the world would it be Terence Crawford? It's just when you're looking for something, it's just you're going to find something if you're looking for something, but it's not legitimate. And the fact that Derek James didn't come out and say there was anything funny with Terence Crawford's gloves, Errol Spence didn't come out and say that. Who are you guys to do it? And why, again, I'm going to ask the question that I asked when all of Deontay Wilder's fanboys were talking about Tyson Fury's gloves. Oh, yeah, they mentioned that too. So you know what side they're on with that. If Tyson Fury was cheating, and if Terence Crawford was cheating, why in the world would you want a rematch with the guy that has no ethics? Why would you want to fight a guy like that? Well, next time he may put brass knuckles in his glove if he's willing to pull out the stuffing and all that. If y'all don't stop, Errol Spence got beat from pillar to post. I'm sure he'll tell you that. Stop coming up with excuses. There was nothing wrong with Terence Crawford's gloves. He's not on steroids. He's with the snack program. You know, there are supplements that can make you look very good in addition to your natural DNA and genetics. Everything's not steroids. You guys think anytime you see somebody in shape, there's something illegal going on. That's ridiculous. That's like saying anytime a student gets an A plus in school, he's on some brain enhancing drug because he got an A plus. Y'all are losing your credibility. Manager Marty, I'll come on your platform and debate with you in the boxing outlet anytime you want. No problem. Y'all sound like you're just really upset that your boy lost. And the same thing is going to happen in the rematch, except it's going to be worse. What are you going to blame it on then? Oh, he took more stuffing out of his glove. Oh, then he had the nerve, Manager Marty or the other dude, Boxing Outlet, they're one and the same to me, to show Terence Crawford in a fight where he had his hands behind his back before the bell rang. So they're using that to say he was trying to hide his gloves. Really? They drug test these fighters before the fight, and they drug test them after the fight. They look at the gloves before the fight. They look at the gloves after the fight. There was no funny business involved. Then they even tried to say, Errol Spence, the Boxing Outlet dude, I believe it was him. Errol Spence looked drugged before the fight. So now it's back to the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury thing. First it's the gloves, then it's steroids, then it's the snack program. Now Errol Spence looked drugged. If Errol Spence was drugged, it's because he drugged himself. You could tell by Terence Crawford, he's too much of a competitor to try to win off something that's underhanded and under the table. He don't roll like that. Y'all show you don't know this guy's personality. He would rather lose than have to cheat to win. I don't know where y'all getting all this nonsense. And you need to tell all your subscribers to come holler at me because I actually know the sport. I actually pick fights and get them right. And I've actually boxed before. Have you guys boxed? And if you have, you should know better than the silly accusations y'all coming with. Now, Spygate with Zhili Zhang, that's a little different. His representatives admitted to putting a spy in the camp of Joe Joyce. But y'all are just really looking for a reason to say your guy won. I remember I was wondering about that. I was such a fanboy of Lennox Lewis that when Oliver McCall beat him in '94, I was thinking, did he have illegal gloves? Why was he crying on his way to the ring? But there was no funny business. Emmanuel Stewart wouldn't have allowed that. I didn't really know about Emmanuel at the time. You know, I didn't know he was such a great trainer till later on. But hey, we've all been there, I guess. You know, we're a fan of a certain fighter. We're looking for an excuse for why the other guy won. But there was no social media around back then. And there's just too many organizations from every angle checking on the fighters to make sure everything was on the up and up. So if there was some shady business, believe me, it would have been caught by somebody who wasn't on the side of Terence Crawford. You know what I mean? We got mystery women stepping in the building, you know what I mean? But,
stay in your business.
Yeah, I might get her on here talking some pugilism, you know. She got hands.
Oh, he thinks he looks so handsome in that hoodie. Okay.
Yeah, but Manager Marty and Boxing Outlet, yeah, I'll go on your platform anytime and show you guys. Don't know what you're talking about. Hand your subscribers over to me, and if they want to hear some real boxing, they can learn what it's like, what it's about, the players involved, and they won't get fed a bunch of opinions that they can't be backed up. So anytime, let me understand you. So anytime your fighter loses, the guy that beat him was on some illegal drug or he was in a secret society. If y'all don't stop, man. Are you guys saying Errol Spence is that good to where you have to go to all those tricks to beat him? He's that great? You have to cheat. You have to mess with your gloves. You got to be on steroids. You got to drug him before the fight because Errol Spence was that good. Are you kidding me? let's say the gloves were tampered with, because you were talking about how much Errol Spence was getting beat up, and you're like, why is he reacting that way? It's like, oh, because he's on steroids. Well, if that's the case, how come Errol Spence shoved him back? Like that had nothing to do with the gloves. He shoved him back like he was nothing. Oh, I guess you're gonna say that was on steroids too. But how does steroids make you take a punch? Remember, Hellenius was allegedly on something when he fought Joshua. You remember that? His test after the fight came back showing he was on something, and what happened? Even though he was on something, allegedly, he still got knocked out. So, let's say Terence Crawford was on something. He still could have got knocked out. Steroids don't do nothing for your chin. That's for muscles. And it doesn't do nothing for your ring IQ either. What, he took steroids and now all of a sudden he's a boxing genius? Your credibility is in the garbage, Manager Marty. Boxing outlet. Man. Like, who are you guys? Like, stop. There's only like a couple boxing platforms I even watch, because a lot of you guys don't know what you're talking about, and it's clear. And anytime your fighter loses, you go to the, well, he looked like he was on something because he was in shape. Errol Spence was in shape too. You're not accusing him of being on nothing. Why? Because he was your boy and he lost. Anyway, it's the J. Roos Theory. LSR forever. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. Manager Marty, come see me. Boxing Outlet, come see me. And I will beat you like Terence Crawford beat your boy verbally, or we can get in the ring and you can get it both ways. Be fearless. Yeah, yay.